Do the maths, extra 7 times compared to KT in professional play, but that is over more seasons.
Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to see? So, something we need to talk about, Tetra, here, I feel. If you watched HGC NA, HGC EU on the weekend, and even HGC Korea, we have seen a significant rise of Tyrandas, or as I want to call her sometimes. Thank you, Randy. Shout out to Winter StarCraft, by the way. StarCraft Gaming, Winter Gaming, for coming up with that term. You get it, why?
No, I also don't watch Winter.
Tyranda. Ty for thank you, and Randy for Randa.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, thank you, Randy.
No, but Tyranda has been on the rise heavily with that owl build. I mean, Shwimpy yesterday put on a clinic when they played against, who was it, Zealots? It was just a one-man show, it felt at point.
Indeed. Speaking of that matchup, shout out to Open Division player Lolba.
Oh, yeah.
Moving up to HGC, wasn't able to take wins, but played well and definitely put on a show, showing that good chance for Leftovers, the team he plays for, to make it into the main HGC.
Yeah, it's just a question here. Are Chinese teams going to hop on the bandwagon, or are they like either they haven't caught up to it, maybe they weren't able to watch some of the European or NA matches as of late, or maybe they just have a different opinion on her. Like, we have seen in the past that Chinese teams sometimes evaluate certain heroes that are a global trend a little bit differently. And that might benefit them because they find a better play to play the game, or a better way to play the game, but also it might hurt them if they basically miss out on the trend. And for example, at BlizzCon, if Tyrande still is that dominant factor, they might all of a sudden not know how to play against it.
Quite possibly. It could be that surprise factor that they have not prepared for. For now, Tyrande would fit in with the style that both these teams are going for, as we see heavy CC take priority in the form of ETC, Uther, and Dahaka.
ETC, Dahaka, and Uther. Pretty solid thus far. Once again, the standard bans. I just don't even understand why at this point every team bans the same things, right? I mean, Tassadar, sure, he's strong. China still loves to play double support Vala or double support Zul'jin. But Ariel?
Ariel empowers Lunara, who's also
True.
leapt up hugely. It still empowers Valet. There's even Gul'dan, which kind of counteracts the ETC that's jumped up high. It's just currently Ariel is insanely good, and Tassadar empowers too much and is still considered to be relatively overpowered. It's just a seemingly general agreement between the Chinese teams that these are the two, maybe not the most powerful heroes, but the ones that empower the most powerful heroes.
True, very good point. Totally forgot about the Lunara, because over the last 2 weeks, I would say, we've seen a very spectacular rise of Lunara with a fantastic win ratio. And despite Locktar not being able to win with Lunara, he looked amazingly dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He nearly wiped the enemy team so many times, but that double support, just too much for him.
Just too much. Now, keep in mind, Genji is available, and so is Uther for SOA. And SOA did play a lot of Genji as of late. They have players like Fei, who basically excel at the hero, but they can also send Molly onto that, depending on how they want to form their composition. And I think Uther would make a lot of sense here as well. Like, there's not really any hard counters available for the enemy team right now. Like, no super hard CC, and dodging the ETC should be easy for him. And of course, the Divine Shield, like Dragon Blade. Yum, yum, yum. You take a big bite and devour the enemy team.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate Genji. I think that would fit in quite well. Works on the map. Decent poke potential. I would be down for it. Let's see if that's what they go for, though. Once again, if they still need range damage. So Lunara, as we mentioned already, is also available, so can fit in. Maybe they do want to run Valor without the Ariel, and maybe just run double support with Valor. Just different supports kind of style.
I've got the feeling that SOA is going to surprise us right now. I think SOA is going to bust out a hero that we normally don't see a whole lot in HGC China. They did in the past with that Kel'Thas. Stitches, you know,
Lunara.
Yeah, that's fairly standard. They have one more slot, though. But Stitches has been kind of neglected a little bit more. Last phase, he was the dominating warrior with people like Wang, people like Wind actually making things happen all the time.
Yeah.
But now
don't forget the legend that is Simba at Mid-Season Brawl.
Well, no.
I refuse to remember. I choose to forget.
I don't remember. This one time I don't remember. No, the background story for those of you guys who missed the mid-season brawl and who missed the Eastern Clash, Simba was the substitute for SBT because once again they weren't able to field their full roster, which is very sad. Hopefully it's not going to happen at BlizzCon because SBT is probably the only team in the league right now that are safe to be set to guarantee a slot at BlizzCon.
And SBT, they've used him consistently as a substitute at Mid-Season Brawl and Eastern Clash in different roles each time.
Yeah.
And so far, Simba has managed to have a total hero pool of 3 in the form of Stitches, Leoric, and Lily.
Poor Simba. I mean, it's rough, man.
He is a manager, to be clear on that one. He's very much a choice of this is who they chose. That maybe that was due to time, maybe it is due to preference, maybe they just wanted to go to these events that fun. But either way, it has not worked out for them so far. Hopefully, visas will work out and they'll get to go as a full roster this time. Speaking of the Leoric, though, he does come out for KT, so we have another chance at redemption.
Definitely true. We mentioned earlier that Leoric didn't really have that impact that many people actually thought he would have. So still, there is a little bit of room for redemption.
Double after hook lockdown, Root and Hammer of Justice.
I was gonna say, this is not the traditional double support comp for SOA here. This is more like a hook enabling and executing comp. So Malfurion oftentimes has a couple of assassin elements into his kit, right? The Trend, we could see that. Very dangerous in the late game if you hit those roots. Also keep in mind that the Twilight Dream is still a game or potential game teamfight breaking heroic ability if used well. So I actually do dig the draft that SOA brought to the table here. I like it.
As do I. I am kinda hyped for it. Like, let's just go over the amount of execution tools after that hook comes in. So the hook lands, hopefully there'll be a root waiting at the other side of it. Second that root expires, Hammer of Justice, into Leaping Strike for the main damage, Twilight Dream, Divine Storm.
Oh,
and at that point, whoever is hooked is almost certainly dead.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter if Dahaku's there or not, he can just keep split pushing in the top lane, he's not needed here.
Yeah, and if the damage comes in fast enough, then the Ancestor Healing won't even land in time, given the fact that Rhaegar even needs to be in range in the first place. Same goes for Kharazim, if Kharazim goes for the Divine Palm. So they do have a couple of panic buttons in theory, but landing those and being in range when the hook goes down is quite the challenge. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna dive right into the action here for game number 1 between KT and SOA. Let's go, baby! And spawning in the left-hand side in the blues, we have the team known as Kudos Top, aka KT. Now, we have T-Die on the Grey main, Neptune plays Leoric, Gensho on his Rhaegar, Seeing on the Kharazim, and Butcher plays ETC.
And on the right, in the red trunks, it is going to be Start Over again. Having stolen the Uther from the Gensho here, let's see how they use it. For now, it's Dahaka being played by Faye. That Uther is being played by Uncle G. TY is playing the Malfurion, Spark BZ on the Stitches, and Molly is playing the Lunara.
Alright, Molly. Keep an eye out on that guy. He's the newest addition to the team. Didn't really play with them. Hasn't actually played for any team in HGC China before, so he's a brand new player. However, after, you know, criticizing him in the first couple of weeks because he only played Vala, he's stepped up and diversified his game quite a bit.
So, let's go over level 1 talents. Lightning Bond, the standard for Rhaegar these days. A little vicious, don't you think? Viciousness coming in for that Grey main. That is the ability reset on the Hunger of the Wolf. Not Hunger of the Wolf. What is the name of that trait? Why am I blanking?
Which one? The attack speed?
Grey main's trait.
Inner Beast. Oh, the trait, excuse me.
Beast.
No, the trait is basically his shapeshifting.
As in the... Sorry, the W, yeah.
Yeah, the W is Inner Beast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you. So yeah, he's getting the reset on that. Leoric is going for the... I believe that's still called Consume Vitality.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Very true.
So that is both the mana and health restoring 4% of his maximum health
it's only health.
per target hit.
It's only health. But it also comes with a cooldown reduction.
It's cooldown reduction now, yeah. So the mana reduction was removed. So yes, he is now going to be getting all those swipes in, which combined with Neil Peasants later on, is going to give him a lovely time. It is only Hero's Hit that heals him now. It's not Minions like it used to be, which is why it is now a level 1 talent.
Exactly. Very true. And keep in mind, like, look at how much damage Molly on that Lunara was able to dish out already. Rega was completely out of mana after only a minute and 45. Had to teleport back in the process, and already SOA is trying to take control over the map. They're going for the Vision Tower here. They know that the Siege Giant camp around 2 minutes is going to be very important for KT. And guess what? Rhaegar is probably going to try to go for it, if not Greymane. But one of the two Doggies should definitely go for it. But it's so hard to do so with Vision Control being on SOA's side. Stitches posturing up. This is going to be quite cheeky.
There's the tower and a Wisp keeping an eye on this. We see a 3v3 fight here. T-Die is the target as he is the furthest forward. Here's Dahaka. They want to make something out of this. Malf arrives as well. Greymane getting Rhaegar getting pulled in. Uncle G is holding it together. Smart BC was dropped low, but a good hook.
Oh, the hook is good.
This Karazim. There's the hook. Karazim is going to fall here. He's taking huge damage. Will die to the poison, and that's going to be first blood just in time for the tribute, which is conveniently spawned right next to him.
Wow.
That goes over to SOA.
Sometimes fortune favors the bold, and SOA just got heavily rewarded. Beautiful invade, great map awareness also by Dahaka joining in the nick of time. Despite the double support protection by KT, they just couldn't really keep SOA at bay. That was just masterclass play here for SOA, I feel.
Yes, it was, and finally, the double Doge, not just one of them, both of them are going to be able to take that Siege Giant camp after it being guarded all this time, and now they have to defend this top lane due to the push that is still happening up here. We are also, by the way, not seeing the Neil Peasants. Leoric going to be focusing more on joining in on the team fights by the looks of it, by taking the Ghastly Reach, making sure that he can consistently get that heal, but thanks to the Consumed Vitality at level 1. Of course, the cooldown reduction that comes with that as base is going to allow him to heal consistently throughout these fights, even if he doesn't take March of the Black King, which is the big sustainability for Leoric these days. So instead, he can go for that Entomb and get that silence late game if he wished to.
And another good tribute spawning location here for SOA, being in their half of the map. Very cheeky. Also, they should have enough time as a result to finish those knights. Stitches posturing up, getting a good hook location in here. Malfurion is here. Also pumps in that D onto Uther to give him more mana. Loving it. And I think KT, they just gave it up. They were like, we're not even level 7. We don't even have our talents ready. So we might as well just not contest at all. And that's very important, guys, when you play Hero League or any other casual game mode out there. Just don't overdo it for those early tributes. If you realize, hey, it's actually fairly deep into the enemy team's half, you know, we're just going to pass on it and we're going to take the next one.
There's actually a little interesting thing that we're not seeing a huge amount of, but Leoric's doing a very good job of controlling where his auto attacks are going, focusing his cleaving attacks onto minions and his main attack, his main critical attacks, which is how he works now. I believe it's 3 cleaves and then a crit. Always focusing his crit attack on structures if he is able to, so that he can get the maximum damage.
Spark BC in trouble.
Good face melt, has to pick a different direction, finds Uther, he's got backup, and that will get him out.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like, we could definitely see Spark BZ changing his plans. He could have never retreated towards the safety of the towers because ETC was doing a very good job body blocking. So he decided to go for a different path. And, of course, Uncle G on the Uther was there to help his buddy out in need. Now, once again, those Siege Giants are taken. We see Uncle G having still enough mana, above 50%. That's definitely enough to contest a tribute with. So very important to keep your mana at a decent level when you play a main support, especially Uther, who's very mana hungry in the first place. Now Molly trying to get those poison stacks through.
Hook is dodged very nicely by seeing. Just a quick shout out here, the Greymane build is one we see in China every now and again. It is the ultimate ranged build. It's not burst for cocktail, it's just consistent ranged auto attacks as they do move in. The root by Malfurion once again is very nice as Uncle G turns it round. Seeing's dropping low, no healing available yet, and he goes down. And there's, with both healers down, Lunara is now going to clean up. This will be a full team wipe as Neptune
the Holy Shack executes him.
Nicely done. Full team wipe. Tribute gets abandoned because there's a delicious boss that they can get as well as the tribute.
Oh my god.
And that's going to be a curse and a boss pushing in that bot lane.
This is the worst
Siege Giants.
possible situation for KT. As you said, Siege Giants are pushing in the bottom Tetra. The boss is being taken. The curse is online. This went from bad to worse. But look at that vacuum cleaning composition. The roots zoning out everybody. They had this beautiful concave. Lunara was not being touched at all. Not enough pressure. No heroic abilities. And they just cleaned up house here. SOA that is like a vacuum cleaner just waltzing over the enemy team. And not even Leroy couldn't survive. Bam. There we go.
Yeah, second both the healers were gone, there was no chance. The boss and the Siege Giants have cleared up that last remaining tower. They are just going straight for the keep, and they don't even have everyone. Fei is actually going to push top lane and prevent ETC from porting back.
Could this be a core? Like, if they're not even level 10. Like, if they kill more dudes?
Dahaka could come join, and he is preventing ETC from porting right now. And ETC is one of the big preventional tools here. This could be a core attempt. It's not going to be a world record, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at the...
in here. Dahaka is yet to tunnel, so he's not here. This is going to be a 4 versus 5. Oh, well, 3 versus 5. Good Divine Storm down. He knows, yeah, they're going to get the core. Wow, no questions.
Molly trying to go in, no level 10, no mosh pit just yet. The core is starting to take damage. T-Die dies a slow and pitiful death. No, the level up saves him from the poison ticks off Lunara. 85%, 80%. Can SOA do it? They need to go kamikaze all-in mode now on this core. They even kill Neptune again.
Go hard or go home. Commit or leave. They finally move on to the core. The boss's health is relatively healthy. The mosh pit delays, but Lunara is the one left unattended. That is GG, and it will be SOA taking game number 1.
Fantastic performance here by SOA. They just steamrolled over their opponents, and you could see Uncle G in the backline. He was happy with that result, and rightfully so. That was the SOA that we expected to show up in the earlier stages here. That was the SOA that dominated their opponents in week 1 and 2, even taking maps of teams like SPT. Fantastic performance, and I don't know what it was. I think the draft looked okay for KT. It just looked like they were completely caught off guard. You know, every now and then you have a game where just nothing works in your favor. The tributes spawn in the bad location. You get caught in rotations. You can't take the early Merc camp because the enemies are all over the place. So that was just a game that KT should forget about it. They're going to try again next time.